This is the custom 3-inch performance exhaust from Perth High Performance Diesel, stainless steel, polished. So that is now going to get fitted. So the car's ready, ramps underneath, creeper, range of tools, and then underneath where I've got limestone road base, I'm going to use grass to crawl around on. Nice stuff to work on actually. So wish me luck. Hopefully we will be done by lunchtime. Ooh, crunch. He bloody fell over. A few tight bolts, but the flange came off quite easily, which is great. However, there's always one in the frigging crowd. Up in there, the hardest one to get to, and it's frozen, so it's out with the little oxy kit. Just thank God I got one right. So that is next. I'll stop videoing because it could end badly otherwise. All going swimmingly well. Even the flange bolts and nuts rather came off quite easily, but there's always one in a crowd, right? So the one that's right up in there, I can't even see the bloody thing, is frozen. So it's time to get the oxy kit out. So just as when I got one, so I'll stop the videoing because it could end badly otherwise. So I'm just fitting the front pipe, and it's just sitting hard up against this mounting bracket. Look, it sits there, but the holes are offset quite radically. So I'm just going to trim that with an angle grinder just to get a bit of clearance and be able to mount this flange central. But geez, it's pretty bloody schmeck. So run into a small issue there with the flange. Just zoom in a bit, you can see that it's butting up against that bolt. So there's actually a gap there. I can get my finger in there, or just the tip of my finger. So you can see I've marked it out with texture. So I'll drop it, just trim it off, and then it will fit beautifully. So the system is now fitted. That's towards the rear from the front. I'll just zoom around to the front flange. There it is, all nice and neat as a pin. You can see it's clearing that beautifully. It's clearing that beautifully. I tell you what, it's pretty well manufactured. Duly impressed. Goes through there behind the thing and towards the back. Now I'll get you an angle from the back. And here's the system for the rear. Clears everything beautifully. Sitting in exactly the same exit point as the previous system. Going forward, all the hangers are beautifully positioned. It fits really well. Had to push it over a fair bit right on the rear here, but first couple of runs will take any tension out. So that's it. So now the really big exciting moment, starting it up. Here we go. So here we go. Here's the moment of starting it up. Now remembering, this actually doesn't have a muffler at all. Now I'm going to need to get it remapped, but this is what it sounds like. Let's give it a go. That's not too bad. Bring that to the back. So when you're accelerating, obviously she's got a bit of a bark, but when you cruise, that is nice. I'm impressed. So my only concern is that when we're under load, doing 2,500 under load, I mean towing our caravan, that there's going to be a drone. So we'll have to test that and see. But by all accounts, that sounds pretty nice. Takes me back to my teenage years. There you go. Impressed. Thought I'd better finish off with a video of the noted idle and to acknowledge Perth Performance Diesel. Well done guys, well made system, $599, are you serious? And I love it, so well done, made my job easier. And now for the ultimate sound test, while stationary of course. Okay, give it a rev. stop it. Okay, so it's got a nice note at idle. You can hear the tone, and so just give it a couple of stabs, though, you know, like, and then off. Yeah, beautiful. And again, and higher. Beautiful. Sounds good. Reminds me of my teenage years. However, I'm very mindful of not having a drone, especially under load. And by load, I mean when we're towing a caravan and we're cruising at 2,500. So remember, this system does not have a muffler at all. So that's actually pretty impressive. So now really the test is, after we get it remapped, seeing the power increase and the fuel economy decrease. Better be. Doesn't the system look very sexy in there? See that? How sexy is that, eh? And there's the tailpipe out there. Well, I can't even see the video, so hopefully you can see the tailpipe. But anyway, duly impressed. I'll give it a rev myself, because wifey just doesn't do it the same, right? So a little bit louder than I'd like, but hey, I ain't going to be driving like that either. So so the real test will be on the road and under load. About to head off up to the city, so I'm going to reset my meter, and we'll just see what the economy is going to be then, and that's without a remap. Yeah, the other thing I'm going to do is to weigh this system. It is incredibly heavy. The new system in its entirety weighs 13 kilos. I reckon each one of these pieces weighs 13 kilos. So for those who understand GVM and GCM with towing, like every 10 kilo can count. So so there's those pieces there, plus the piece in here. There we go. That is just incredibly heavy. It is cast, it's solid as. So I'll do a separate video. I've got my little crane scales there. So I'll weigh those shortly and do a separate video. Just got back from the city, and so that's about what, 32k drive. So very, very cruisy up there. Bit of suburban driving around the city, so you're on and off the throttle, accelerating, so that'll bump up the average. And came home, went to the local shop, so again a little bit of suburban driving, and we're actually down to 10.7 as the average, which is pretty damn good because it hasn't been remapped yet, and it was 12.5. Traditionally it used to be 10.7, that's a couple of years back, and over time it's been 11 litres per 100 k's, and I changed the tyres out. At the same time we did a long trip, and then we had problems with the intercooler, so all of those things affected the mileage. Like the slightly larger tyres, 265/70 I think they are, rather than 255/70, bumped it up probably a litre per 100 k's, and the intercooler certainly didn't help. So I'm happy with that. So 2 litres or thereabouts per 100 k's less, and that's without a remap. So I'll do an update once I get the remap. And notice the ultra gauge over there. Very, very cool device. Highly recommend it. So to Perth Performance Diesel, highly recommend their products, highly recommend their service. Oh yeah, on about service. It's a Saturday, and Saturday morning they're still open. Had a couple of questions on the mounting onto the back of the turbo dump pipe, and phoned them up, got some advice straight away. So yeah, look, highly recommend Perth Performance Diesel. Great service, great products. And that's Peter Butler, the hobbyist, mechanicking with my hobbies. So I hope these videos help.